He had already confessed. So I knew Dahmer didn't have a defense. So I said to him, "What do you want me to do?" He said, "I want to know why I am what I am." So I told him, "I can get a good psychiatrist to come and talk to you and plead you not guilty by reason of mental illness, insanity, but I need doctors to tell me they can support that." The real job was to get enough information to give to the doctors to be able to answer their questions.
The question was whether he was sane or insane. The next several months, I would spend considerable time with him, talking about each victim and gathering as much information as possible.
Okay, Jack. Tell me what you were thinking.
I wondered why I was compelled to do the murders. What I was searching for the murdering someone and disposing of them right away gives no great lasting pleasure or feeling of fulfillment. And yet I still felt the compulsion to do it throughout these years.
Jeff, wanting to identify all the victims, this was very unique in somebody who was a serial killer, a true serial killer, didn't deny it and said, "Yes, I killed, and I killed. This is how I killed, and this was why."
I didn't seem to have the normal feelings of empathy.
Did you ever consciously think to yourself, "Geez, why don't I have these feelings that normal people would have?" I
did wonder about it. It started with fantasies, fantasizing. It always started with fantasizing, and then eventually it seemed the fantasies came to be.
He took his fantasy world to degrees and in places that most of us would never even conceive of. I interviewed Jeffrey Dahmer at the request of defense attorney Jerry Boyle. I've been asked if there was, in my view, a defense of insanity here. I had a 30-year career in Milwaukee as a forensic psychologist, and Dahmer's case came mid-career for me. There were others that followed, but nothing like this.
Triggered it all. I wish I could give you a good, straightforward answer on that. If there's any area that is to really blame, it's my own twisted thinking. I haven't been thinking normally for years.
Jeffrey was more reserved at talking about his childhood. There were some pictures I saw of him when he was younger with his dad, Lionel, and, it seemed very normal, and, they're playing catch with the ball. But his father was gone a lot. He's a scientist, and, he was furthering his own education. But Jeff was adamant that there wasn't any huge traumas that would have caused him to do these things. Wasn't like he was sexually abused or beaten. The one thing that Jeffrey did tell me and Jerry Boyle about his childhood that really affected him was this constant bickering between his parents.
What was the problem there as you were growing up between your mom and you?
They just couldn't seem to get along, especially on my mom's side.
Any violence?
Just the slight mom hitting dad.
Whose side were you on?
I was trying not to be on anyone's side.
I had inquired into the family history on both sides to see if there was any insanity or any peculiar things about those family members that might give us an insight as to how Dahmer became what he became. And I didn't find anything on Lionel Dahmer's side. And on Joyce's side, I think there was some alcoholism in her family, but there's alcoholism in a lot of families. So it didn't mean anything to me.